everyone. Welcome to our video lesson as an alternative learning stream for this week since hindi tayo makakandak ng class because of the Mass 2024. Okay, so our topic for this video lesson, we're going to discuss about how do we add data from our app to our database. Okay, of course, as what I've discussed before, that first step that you're going to do is, of course, install the dependencies or require dependencies in order for us to connect our PHP, MySQL, and React Native Expo app. And of course, you have to install the SAM control panel. So I already opened my Expo demo project. You can see on my screen. And in my SAM control panel, like what I've instructed you to do, you have to start the Apache and MySQL. And then you can click the admin button so that you can open the admin panel. And we can add database, tables, and other entities sa database natin. So far, this is my database for our project. I have one table, and these are the data in my table. And ito naman yung display niya. As you can see on the screen, ito yung display on our React Native app. And I have the following column, contact ID for the unique ID of each row. And then the contact name for the name of the contact. And then the contact number in integer type, contact relation string type, and for contact image for the images that I want to attach to my contact. And ang iyang type is blob. Okay? So let's see it in detail. So ito yung types ng data in my database. So contact ID, integer, contact name is varchar, so that I can mix characters with symbols or numbers. Contact number, big integer, since if you're going to use integer type, hindi niya i-record ang 11 digits of numbers. So, much better na big int yung gagamitin natin. Okay? And then, the contact relation is varchar or varchar with a size 50, same as the contact name. And the contact image, yung type size, type niya is long blob. So, ito yung common data type for images in this topic or this concept. Okay, so once you've set up your database, may table na kayo, you already added data in your database. Okay, let's go back na to our code.
Okay, the most important files that we have here is I have the following. In my app modules, I added the codes for connection between the React Native and my PHP in this file, contact list. I have a function save contact and save contact and display contact. And then I also have the database folder. Morning. I also have the database folder here in which I have just ignore the delete.php. I did not finish writing this one, so just ignore this. So I want you to focus on the display.php and insert.php because I'm going to discuss the two PHP files, starting with the insert.php. So let's discuss line by line what's happening in this line of codes. Okay, starting with the following line, we have, of course, don't forget to enclose your PHP file with this opening and closing element of the PHP. And then I have here in line 2 and 234. Okay, the following line, line 2 header, access control, allow origin, and then yung localhost natin. So for this one, this line allows request only from HTTP localhost 8081. And yung access control allow origin naman, it's actually a header that specifies which origin is allowed to access the resources on your server. So here in our code, it's configured to allow only requests on localhost 8081, which might be where your front end, like our React Native app, is hosted. And then for line 3, so this line specifies the HTTP methods your server will accept from the allowed origin. So with this one, it will allow us to get data, to post data, put data, and delete data. So by including the following, get, post, put, and delete, it enables these types of HTTP request, allowing the front end to number one, fetch, to add, to update, or delete data on your server. And for line 4, so this line specifies which headers the client can include in the HTTP request. So the content type here is often required for JSON or other data formats. So since we're going to handle we're going to decode our data into JSON format. So that's why in-include natin si content type. And yung authorization naman might be used if you have authentication system in place like tokens or API keys. So I advise you na just copy this one and as is lang yun siya. Okay, because this is required. If wala yan siya, possible na mag-warning or mag-error yung program natin. Okay, for line 6, this line attempts to connect to the MySQL database using PHP MySQLi Connect function. So this is basically this is a connection between your MySQL database using the MySQLi Connect function. And ito yung mga contents niya or data. So we have the localhost kasi naka-local lang naman yung pag-run natin. And then we have the root, which is the username for our MySQL database. And then we have this one is for the password. If just for this one, for this example, empty lang yung case natin. But generally, recommended siya to set a strong password in production. So kapag production na. And then of course, our project name or ang React project name natin and yung port number. So the port number will be or is seen in our MySQL port in some control panels. So kung ano yung port number niyo doon, yung ilalagay. So for example, here in my SAMP, it is actually 3306. So that's why it should be reflected here in our MySQL Connect function. Okay, so that's for line 6. For line 7 naman, okay. Okay, for line 7, so of course you have to declare variable to store the state of the MySQLi select database. For this one is it's just actually a line for connection between your the set connection in line 6 and your Expo Demo 2 project. So i-connect lang natin yung inopen na database and yung React Native project natin. So basically, you can just copy the two lines. Ang i-change nyo lang dito is yung Expo Demo or project name and yung port number if iba yung port number na ginamit niyo. And then for line 9 to 11, this is just a condition to check if the connection was successful or not. So if the MySQLi Connect function fails, it will return false. And then, yeah, if it return false, the die function in uh, line 10 will output the message connection failed, along with a specified error ni MySQL connection error. So this will terminate the script and if the connection fails. So that's for line 9 to 11. Now let's proceed to line 14. Okay, for line 14, the first, okay, so this one, it actually retrieves the raw input data from our HTTP request body. So, ang ginagawa ng line na to is, for example, sa modal in our React Native app, nag-input na tayo sa mga text box. And then, we click the, let's say, save button. And then we have a function in our React Native app. So, yung function sa React Native app that handles the retrieving of data sa module, it will communicate with line 14. So it will get the file content, okay, using this request body, which is yung input natin, PHP. So the PHP input provides access to the request body, which is yung sa React Native natin. So this is useful when dealing with JSON data in API. Again, ang line 14, it will communicate with our React Native function in retrieving data para makuha nila or makuha ni encoded data yung data from the React Native in JSON format. Then after that, in line 15 naman, so it will, after retrieving the data from React Native in JSON format, i-decode naman natin siya. So decodes the JSON formatted data into PHP associative array. So from JSON, i-decode siya ni line 15 into PHP associative array. So kumbaga readable na siya ni PHP. And then the true parameter ensures that the JSON data is returned here, itong true parameter natin. So it ensures that the JSON data is returned as an associative array rather than an object. So that's line 15. So remember ha, ang data nga gikan sa app is i-convert nato into JSON data. And then pag abot niya sa PHP, which is for handling our database, i-decode na po nato siya into PHP associative array. Okay? And then now for line 17 is after we get the data as an associative array, so we can actually now retrieve each of the contents atong data from our React. So, pwede na nato makuha si name, si last name, si contact number, si relation, and si image. So, unsa nato na siya isa-isahon og kuha. So, of course, you have to declare variables for each data or decoded data. So, here I declared contact name F, contact name L, contact number, contact relation, and contact image. And each of these variable will handle each of the relating decoded data. So for example, for contact name F, ang ako ang i-store sa iya is si decoded data nga ang value name is first name. So ma'am, aha man gikan first name, how will I know that I am using the correct variables for that decoded data? So let's go back to our contact list. Okay? Okay, so here, so, so let's go back to our insert. Okay, so magdedepend din siya sa atoang inserting to database nga function in our contact list.tsx or sa React Native na side na to. So this is my function. So ito yung tatawagin kapag mag-click ta og save button sa modal. So as you can see here in line 61 to 68, I have declared variables. Ayan. Okay, so itong mga variable na yan on the first part, ito yung tatawagin natin sa PHP side. So here, doon I had to call first name, last name, contact number, relation, and image. So as you can see, going back to insert, ayan yun siya, contact number, relation, and image. So diri na siya naga-base. Okay? So later na nato ni i-discuss ang sa contact list.tsx. Ayan, so that's for line 17 to 21. So with this concept, we can actually now access the decoded data of first name, last name, contact number, and relation, and image. And ito siyang i-transfer sa mga variable declared PHP. Okay, and then after that, I have a conditions here. Okay, so for this one, this condition, line 23 to 30, so it checks if any of the required fields are empty. So i-check niya lang kung empty ani nila. So if any of these fields are empty, the next lines of codes will execute to return an error message. So it checks if empty ba si contact name, contact last name, contact relation, contact number. And if empty siya, na mo gawas ka message nga please provide all required fields. Ayan. Um, but this one will only display in your console. Um, for this one is actually just for debugging if I need to clarify the passing of data or between my React to my PHP. Kasi I also have a validation here in my contact list at PHP, at TSX, sorry. So again, for line 23 to 30, it just check if empty ba ang ato ang variable or dili. Okay, next, ang pinaka-importante na nga part is our insert query. Ayan. So, this is the example insert query. Of course, you need to declare first a variable to handle the insert query. So here, my variable is insert query. So line 32 to 35, it prepares an SQL insert query so that we can add a new record to our table contacts. Of course, when using the insert query, you have to start with, like what I've said, variable declaration, then equal sign, and then make sure you put double quotation. And ayaw kalimot sa to ang semicolon after the double quotations. And then inside our double quotation, you type first, ito yung syntax niya. I will provide you the cheat sheet for the different, what do you call this, queries in MySQL. Okay, so inside our double quotation, you start to write insert into keywords. And then yung table name, which is table contacts. And then the different columns in your table inside the open and close parenthesis. So table name, open and close parenthesis, and then your column name, which is I have contact name, contact number, contact relation, and contact image. Make sure that the naming convention here is similar with your column or database naming convention for each column. Kasi if di na siya similar, dili ma-record ang data. Okay, so here, yan yung sa table natin where we want to insert the data. And then after that, the value keyword. And then after the values keyword, open and close parenthesis ulit. And then now we are going to call the different variables that we have declared that handles or stores the decoded PHP data. So here, you have to enclose each with single quotation. So for the contact name and for the contact last name, um, as you can see, they are combined inside the single quotation because I want to concatenate them. So, yung ano yung pag-concatenate niya, i-combine lang mo siya sa single quotation. So, with this concept, since siya man ang first nga value, therefore it will be stored in the contact name nga column. And ang contact number will also be stored sa contact number. Ang contact relation will be stored sa contact relation nga column. And ang contact image will be stored in the contact image column. So again, this is the insert into query. Okay. Starting with the insert into keyword and then the table name and then the column names and then the value keyword and then call the variables with data. And dapat in sequence order siya depende sa imuhang column, pag-arrange sa column nimo. And then here in line 38, so line 38 executes the query using MySQLite query. And then, it is a condition actually. So, if the query is successful, so itong insert query natin, if successful siya, the following lines will be executed. So, contacts are saved successfully. So, for this message is, ano lang yun siya, sa console natin. Okay, and then it will set the success message if insertion is successful, and then it will encode the success message to JSON. And if ma-encode nyo siya into JSON, you can actually pass this one to your React Native and maybe you can display uh, a notification na successful yung pag-save natin sa contact. Else, if it's not successful, it will also display the following code. And then last part of our inserted PHP is the MySQLi close. Of course, it's just to close the MySQL database connection at the end of the script to free up resources. So this is really important. After, so that every time the PHP file is done executing all the line of codes, tapos na yung pag-save ng data, of course, it has to close the connection so that we can free up resources. Okay, so that's for the insert.php.